And then the second this guy gets the tiniest bit of backlash from literal insane people online that don't matter at all, their opinions don't fucking matter, he folds. So the main story of the night, Brad tastes in music. Music reviewer. Yeah, he does music review content. Yeah, this guy has some good content, okay? I will be the first to admit this guy has some decent content.
I like his personality a lot.
Yeah.
He has a really chill vibe.
Yeah. He seems laid back and cool, okay? But apparently he's just a complete cuck. So yeah, let's check out what he was up to recently, okay? So recently, Brad went to an H3 thing, I guess, and they like invited him backstage or something. And he took some pictures with Hila and Ethan and the H3 crew. And then he received a bunch of backlash on Twitter from literal 12-year-olds about how Ethan is a Zionist. So if you're not familiar with Ethan's stance on Palestine or Israel or whatever, first of all, doesn't really matter. Second of all, he is pro-Palestine. He's talked about it, and on his stream with Hassan before they're falling out, he had a huge like era of like being very understanding, listening to what Hassan was saying from a far more radical pro-Palestine side or whatever. So Ethan was very receptive to that, and he even moved some of his pro-Palestine views even further in the direction of being pro-Palestine. But it wasn't good enough for Hassan because Ethan was slightly sympathetic to Israel because he lived in Israel. And he thought that some of the things that people were saying on Twitter that were anti-Israel were very unhinged. And he felt obligated to call that out. People like celebrating the terrorist attacks and stuff like that, right? That's pretty reasonable to me. But to Twitter freaks, that is Zionism. Offering a slight criticism of radical, like pro-Palestine stuff is Zionism to those people. So therefore, that those very insane people who think in black and white, they see their favorite YouTuber, Brad Tastes in Music, hanging out with the Zionist H3, and they can't handle it. And they go on Twitter and they call him all sorts of things. Oh my God, I can't believe you hung out with the Zionist. Brad, I thought you were pro-Palestine as much as I was. But now it looks like you're platforming like Zionist shills. These Zionists like pig dogs. Ethan dared to disagree with Hassan. Yeah, he dared to disagree with Hassan. Ethan came into these conversations, by the way, in absolute good faith, like the best faith, going in fully trying to learn and understand the other viewpoint, and even shifted his own viewpoints, like coming in, having these heart-to-hearts. And what was Hassan's approach to these conversations? Completely closed off, refusing to give him an inch on any point, extremely bad faith, misdirecting the conversation to different talking points. It wasn't like two humans talking. It was like Ethan was desperately trying to get his friend on the same level as him to have like a heart-to-heart about a political issue, and the friend just kept pushing further and further. Like it was insane. It was one of the most like heartless things I've ever seen. I honestly was like a little bit surprised that Hassan went as hard as he did on Ethan with that issue, because it actually like broke Ethan. Ethan was really fucked up over it. And yeah, Ethan just gets branded as like this crazy like Zionist guy, which is nowhere near what his actual like opinion is. So anyways, people give Brad Taste all this backlash, right? And Brad feels the need to apologize for taking a picture. Oh yeah, Hassan cried. This image made a statement that I did not intend to make, and I'd like to apologize for people who were hurt or upset by this. I also apologize for my quick response, as it was dismissive towards people who care about me and others deeply. I appreciate you looking out for me. I don't know what his first response is. My quick response. So I assume like he got some people crying in his replies about like, you know that Ethan's like a crazy like Zionist genocidal maniac pig dog, right? And he probably was like, he probably saw that and like every other person in the world laughed at his phone and went, "You need to go outside, you fucking loser." And then he turned off his phone and then he thought about it for a second. He was like, "Wait a minute. Wait, this could look really bad for me. This could look really bad for me if I don't condemn Ethan the Zionist. This is horrible. Oh my gosh. I'm platforming a genocidal Zionist." So cringe. Yeah, literally never apologize, honestly. Most of the time, people should not apologize. Most of the time. Yeah, he's completely spineless. More fucking spineless than fucking Boogie. Then he says this one. "What's happening right now in Palestine is awful beyond comprehension, and I finally understand why it's been so hard for me to speak about it. I said that I stayed quiet because I didn't know enough, but truthfully, I felt like I couldn't listen."
Girl, oh my god.
The fucking language that this guy is using is so annoying and infuriating. He's like literally talking like a 13-year-old that spends all their time on Twitter. "Members of my family have died at the hands of Hamas, and it has honestly made this one of the hardest situations I've ever been presented. I understand why people are upset, and I want to make it very clear that I stand with the people of Palestine." What are these things? What? Your family has died at the hands of Hamas, and
So he's got like family in Israel or something?
I guess. So I got family in Israel, and even I am pro-Palestine. That's a good. That's a really good.
That's a classic.
Classic. You know, I'm actually the exception. You know, I had this severe thing happen to me, and I actually still don't support it. "I haven't talked to many of my family members in months because they believe that Israel's horrific actions are justified." Uh-oh. A fucking global conflict. You are so politically cucked that a global conflict separates you from your family. You're willing to cut off your family members because of politics on the internet. You are a fucking scumbag. This guy's a piece of shit. I actually cannot fucking stand people like this, dude. Imagine cutting off your family members because you believe that you are like morally better than them for having certain political views. "I'm going to do my best to keep educating myself and to listen to Palestinian voices. And I hope you guys are able to be patient with me as I genuinely try to learn. I also want to thank the people in my community whose collective outcry helped break me out of my harmful mindset."
Jesus Christ.
Shut the fuck up. I cannot believe that this guy is so fucking cucked. I thought he was cool at one point. I thought he was cool. This guy's a complete fucking loser. "I'm aware that being around Ethan and Ela at the moment is very questionable." Oh, this was like one of the first things he tweeted. These are kind of out of order. Okay. "I wanted to meet them despite people's valid criticisms of them. I am aware that this is a bad look, and posting a photo of them upset many people. Not the best decision on my part." Dude,
Ooh,
you
fair.
took a picture with famous people. What are you apologizing for? You took a picture. He even says later on, "I look up to these people. I think they were cool. They inspired a lot of my content." So why are you apologizing? You were excited to meet them and you met them. First of all, if you want to completely disavow their political views, sure, go ahead. Go ahead. You can be as radical pro-Palestine as you want. Doesn't mean that you have to like never interact with them in any capacity. I hate this mentality. I hate when people say, "Oh, you can't talk to Ethan because he disagrees with me on like this one political issue." Says who? If you respect him as like a creative person, who fucking cares what his views are? But second of all, Ethan is not some crazy like Zionist hardcore out of control person. Like, he's actually very pro-Palestine by the general public standard. So it just makes this even more absurd. "Sorry for starting drama. Actually logging off now." This was the most recent one. Then Nick Diorio says, "You're a pathetic loser. Reposting because you deleted the previous tweet I put this on." Fucking based. What, were you going to say something earlier? I cut you off.
Oh, well, I was going to say that this apology, honestly, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. At least he didn't directly say, Ethan, I had no idea, like, Ethan and Eli are such horrible people, you know what I mean? Like,
I think this apology is
he made
disgusting.
It's still bad for sure, but he at least made it more about the politics and less about Ethan and Eli's people. You know what I mean?
The politics it's just all stupid. Like, I just have no fucking respect for someone like this.
Mm-hmm. And
Same.
he's always been this fucking crazy. You know, we can
That's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, he's always been this crazy, apparently.
Yeah.
That's wild. Like, because he comes off as pretty normal and reasonable. So this is one of his, crazy, insane fans that, told him that he was a horrible person for taking a picture. Wait, they were problematic, and why? And why? Then why would you ever want to meet them? If you knew Ethan and Ela were Zionists, Ela herself was in the IDF.
She had no choice. She literally had no choice.
Why even risk your reputation for that meeting? Yeah, the IDF is mandatory service in Israel.
That's actually insane.
You have to, if you live in Israel, you have to leave or else you're a Zionist.
Dude, that's like that's like saying that like people in South Korea are pro-Korea because they joined the military.
North Koreans are pro Kim Jong-un
because they live in North Korea.
All right, but listen to this. This is like kind of the worst one in my opinion. So he kneels and bows and says, I'm sorry, you're right. And he says, I wanted to meet them because they were famous, and I had the opportunity to watch a creator who was a pivotal part of my childhood and early YouTube adventures. I had no care for the moral implications at the time. I just wanted to feel cool. Guys, I made a big lapse in my judgment. I just wanted to feel cool, and that's why I became a racist. That's why I joined the Ku Klux Klan. By taking a picture with fucking Ethan Klein.
I went down the alt-right pipeline.
I went down the alt-right pipeline at the H3 show yesterday, and I almost converted to a full-blown Nazi by taking a picture with Ethan Klein. Like, holy shit. So H3 sees this, and he posts this on his Instagram. This is Brad. Someone on the crew was kind enough to get him VIP tickets so he was able to come backstage and hang out with us. I had the chance to speak with him for a little bit and thought he was a nice guy. Here he is apologizing for taking a photograph with me. So this guy's completely fucking two-faced. Mm-hmm. He goes and he sees these people that he loves and respects and looks up to. And then as soon as some retard on Twitter gives him fucking backlash, loses their shit over literally nothing, he kneels and he throws these people under the bus and calls them bad people, essentially.
God damn.
So yeah, then H3 posts this too. Whatever criticism I have voiced for Israel, whatever financial contributions I've made to the people of Gaza, nothing will ever be enough, because I, like 90% of all Jews, am a Zionist. I've been on the receiving end of rabid anti-Semitism ever since October 7th, but this one made me especially sad. So what he's saying is, like, because he believes that Israel has the right to exist, that makes him a Zionist. Which is how these people, like, label Zionists, right? Yeah. And he says right here, because I'm a Zionist, what does this even mean? To those that use the word as an insult, it simply means anyone that believes Israel has the right to continue to exist. According to recent polling, this would include 90% of the world's Jewish population. That means that Brad here would need to apologize for taking a photograph with 9 out of 10 Jews. This is a little bit sneaky, the way that this part is like worded, I feel like, because it implies like that you're maybe anti-Semitic if you're like anti-Zionist a little bit, which isn't really true necessarily. But
well, also it's like there's a difference between like a normal person who's not talking about something and someone who has a public platform and is talking about politics.
Sure.
And so, I'm completely on Ethan's side, obviously, but it's like
yes, I'm trying to be fully fair. I think this is a little this part is a little bit.
That's a little sketchy and all, but it's like yeah, there's obviously a difference between you and like just some random ass schmo off the street.
Yeah.
A Joe Schmo.
A Joe Schmo,
if you will.
But yeah. Anyways, the point is that because the online perception of this guy is that he's a Zionist, despite all of the shit that he's done for Palestine, including financially contributed to helping people there, and talking openly, being very vulnerable on his stream, and having these conversations about this topic. It's not good enough for people. They need him to be like full blown like Hamas apologist. And because he thinks that Israel has the right to exist and he has empathy for like people in Israel, that he's a bad person and he's a fucking Zionist. But Brad has no spine. Like someone from the crew gives him VIP tickets so he can meet some of his favorite creators, go backstage and hang out with them, introduce each other. And he goes, he has a great time. He talks to them. They have a really good impression of him. They have a good back and forth conversation. And then the second this guy gets the tiniest bit of backlash from literal insane people online that don't matter at all, their opinions don't fucking matter, they're insane, he folds and he goes crying and kneeling to his, I'm so sorry that I made a statement by taking a picture. I'm so sorry, guys. What a fucking loser. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me?
Wait, can you go back to that? Can you scroll down?
Yeah.
I want to see, because Kaiser replied to this person too. Wait, oh no.
This was the same.
Just kidding. Yeah,
that was a
my bad,
screenshot
my
of the
bad.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much that. I mean, it's just fucking pathetic, and I have no respect for this guy.
Oh, do you want to tell me my story of why I stopped watching him?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
We were talking about this on the Discord. Oh, by the way,
Oh, is my mic a good volume for you guys, by the way?
I think it's good.
Okay.
I was watching him for a little while, and the reason that I stopped originally was because, he said a couple questionable things that I was just like, whoa, that's pretty extreme.
Yeah.
A couple times there. But then he talked about I think Melanie Martinez had just released a new album.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about where you go?
Well, I'm listening. I'm just going in here first.
Okay. He talked about how he doesn't support Melanie Martinez and how he thinks she's a bad person and she's a rapist and stuff like that. And people were like, why do you think that? And he was like, well, I just believe all victims, no matter the circumstances and stuff like that. And if you guys don't know about the Melanie Martinez story, Melanie Martinez, you probably recognize her. She did she does a lot of songs that are like, they have like a little girl theme. But anyway, she was accused of rape by one of her former friends, a woman named...
Wait, a woman was accused of raping a woman?
Yeah. She says that the woman, Timothy is her name, which is a funny name.
For a woman? Wait,
yes.
The woman's name is Timothy?
Yes. Timothy said that she ate her out without her consent and then used like a vibrator and stuff on her without her consent.
He fucked me with a toothbrush.
Anyway, this almost ruined Melanie Martinez's career. It was extremely serious. And to this day, if you try to look up information about the situation, you only see articles talking negatively about her.
Yeah.
This was a big deal. And later on, the girl who accused her admitted that she lied. And she apologized to her fans and to Melanie for lying and said that you'll never... Guess why she said she lied about it?
Why?
Because she has BPD.
Base.
Can you believe that?
Wow.
Can you believe that?
Amazing.
So I stopped watching at that point because Brad was like, yeah, well, she was basically like forced to come out with an apology.
Oh my god.
She was forced to do it because like Melanie's fans are so vicious. But yeah, this shit is just like the top of the iceberg. I really think there is a lot to talk about with Brad that nobody has really discussed yet.
Yeah. This guy's fucking cringe and I hate him.
It's really sad. He has like he's like a perfect like YouTube personality.
Yeah. He has a good personality. That's why it's so shocking to me that he's such a fucking loser. Complete soy loser. God, dude. Be sure to sub if you want to catch my next video or stream as soon as it goes up. I appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.